we're taking a quick break from technical work for something that isn't developed enough in tech-focused jobs, leadership. But this is no TED Talk, there's no fluff. I'm here to give you examples and things that have won big for others and myself. Now, this isn't World According to Me. These are items from respected and renowned leadership books. Think of this as the Cliff Notes for fellow professionals short on time and sometimes attention. How to win friends and influence people, and the Leadership Challenge. Go to our website for a PDF that gives quick reminders for what we have talked about here. Number 1. Influence without authority. It may feel hokey, but let me shoot straight. You can't force anyone to patch. You can't make a developer fix their code. You can't stop a project from shipping. You still get blamed when something breaks. What does this look like in practice? Getting an engineer to prioritize your vulnerabilities when they have 40 other tickets. Convincing a team to change a config without escalating to their manager. Making security feel like part of their job, not extra work you're dumping on them. Asking, what would make this easier for you? Instead of, this is due Friday. You tap into your relational reserves through reasoning, relationships, and requests. Number 2, model the way. Credibility through behavior. At work, this might look like a manager who demands patching but ignores vulnerabilities on their own test box. The lead who requires documentation but never writes any. Or the architect who mandates code review but pushes straight to prod, just this once. We notice it and it helps tell us who people are. What does healthy leadership look like here? Well, you use the same MFA, VPN, and access controls that you enforce on others. When you mess up a firewall rule or miss something in a review, you say it out loud. When your team ships a bug, you stand in front of leadership, not behind your team. You never say, who approved this? When you already know the answer. This is one of the best ways to build your character as a leader in front of your team. Number 3, make people feel important. I feel a lot of leaders underestimate this because it feels soft, but it's not. The reality is, engineers get blamed for vulnerabilities they inherited. Ops teams get woken up at 2 a.m. for problems they didn't create. Developers hear security and brace for criticism. What does healthy leadership look like here? In a meeting, someone catches a misconfiguration. You say, good catch, thank you, out loud. It takes 3 seconds. Someone makes an error. You slack them privately instead of replying all or calling it out in a stand-up. Before asking a team to change something, you acknowledge they're already underwater with other priorities. You treat the developer who doesn't know what a CVE is as an intelligent person who just hasn't learned it yet. If people feel embarrassed or dismissed, they will resist you, sometimes consciously. Number 4, inspire a shared vision. Translate security into meaning. Cyber leaders may not fail, but I feel they fall short when they lead with control language, such as you must or policy requires. I feel they fall short when they lead with fear. If we don't do this, we'll get breached. And lastly, with compliance framing. An audit is coming. What does healthy leadership look like here? Saying, being diligent now with audit prep means we won't be scrambling in December when we'd rather be with our family. Or, if we fix this in design, the on-call engineer doesn't get paged at 3 a.m. 6 months from now. Or, getting this right means the production team ships faster, and we look like the team that enabled it. What does this look like in practice? You connect the boring task to something that person actually cares about. You explain how security success makes their life easier, not just yours. You make people feel like they're protecting something that matters, not just checking a box. People don't rally around CVEs. They don't rally around compliance. They rally around purpose. Number 5, seek first to understand, before being understood. Perhaps the most challenging of all these items, yes? Security solutions fail when you don't understand the system you're securing. Teams have constraints that you can't see from the outside. Resistance usually isn't laziness. It's hidden risk, technical debt, or workload you don't know about. What does this look like in healthy leadership? Before recommending a fix, you ask, what's getting in the way of this for you? Before pushing a new tool, you ask, what have you tried before? Before escalating, you ask, what would break if we did this? You might find out the team already tried your solution 2 years ago and it caused an outage. The payoff is huge. Your recommendation lands because it accounts for their reality. People feel heard, which makes them more willing to move. And you avoid pushing something that maybe was never going to work. Listening first isn't slow. It's how you avoid wasting everyone's time, including yours. Number 6. Challenge the process without being the no person. Cybersecurity leaders must challenge the architecture that made sense 5 years ago but doesn't scale. The default config that shipped insecure out of the box. The "we've always done it this way" that nobody has questioned. Here's the nuance. Challenge systems, not people. What does this look like in practice? This is how a healthy leader would approach it. Instead of, "this design is insecure," you can say, "what are we trying to protect here, and does this approach get us there?" Instead of, "this is wrong," you say, "what would it take to test a different approach?" Instead of no, you say, "here's what we need to avoid," and let them problem solve there with you. You propose experiments, not mandates. The goal is progress, not purity. Number 7. Avoid criticism, condemnation, and blame. Post-incident behavior defines your reputation permanently. Here's what bad looks like. Why wasn't this caught in review? Who approved this change? Naming the person who made the error in front of leadership. Using the incident review to assign blame instead of fix systems. Here's what healthy leadership looks like. You ask, what made this easy to miss, instead of, who missed this? You focus on the system that allowed the error, not the person who made it. You treat the incident review as a learning exercise, not a trial. You make it safe to say, I made a mistake without career consequences. The payoff here is big as well. Teams who feel safe report issues earlier. People who fear blame hide problems until they explode. Your reputation as a leader is built in these moments, not just in the wins. Number 8. Encourage the heart. Recognition in high-stress environments. Cyber and tech teams live in constant urgency where everything is a priority. Invisible success where the best outcome is nothing happening. Thankless prevention work where nobody notices until something breaks. Recognition isn't fluff, it's rocket fuel. And this is what it looks like in a healthy environment. You thank someone for the boring, correct work that prevented an incident nobody will ever hear about. You acknowledge effort when a project fails, not just outcomes when it succeeds. You celebrate the avoided incident, not just the heroic recovery. Once a week, you send one message thanking someone for something specific. Not great job. Something like, thank you for catching that config issue before it hit prod. This is my favorite leadership principle of the 8. People burn out when they feel invisible. Prevention work is psychologically exhausting because success looks like nothing. A 30-second message can carry someone through a hard week. Burnout can kill security programs just like attackers do. Recognition is one of the cheapest tools you have. Leadership mistakes. Don't posture and show people how leader-like you are. You burn bridges. Let your ability to produce quality and consistent work be the stage that you lead from. Start with one of the items. Let it build naturally until you can look forward or see things from a bird's eye view. Be gracious with yourself. Toxic environments and people interact differently than healthy ones. Leadership for you right now could look like boundary setting or exclusively trust building for the whole year to recover from another's poor choice. Take some time to look at your processes, people, and projects from a bird's eye view. Be the enabler, the tactful, honest professional, the person who listens before proposing, the one who protects their team when things go sideways, and the leader who remembers that people rally around purpose and not policies. Subscribe on the screen or check back in a few weeks and we'll jump back into something technical.